Okay, so it took me a hot minute, but found a match. We had to pivot a little bit. We now have team, I can't say this right, Feuerzeug going up against Communist Fraiche. We moved on over to HeroesLounge Div 3. Teams are in lobby. They want to get going, so we're going to try to speed through the early part a little bit. Let's just try to catch you guys up real quick. So we're headed to Dragonshire. The choice of Feuerzeug. Call me up for saying that incredibly incorrectly, but it's kind of fun to say. Anyway, BOE and Tomb have been banned out. Teams are in lobby. Like I said, we're going to skip around. Before that, though, we're going to take a peek at the standings here in Division 3. Standings here, brand new. Let's find these teams. Fresh, Feuerzeug. There we go. So we have the 10th and 11th place teams. We're in the second half of the season, so there's a lot of movement that is still up and available. As you can see, both of these teams are well within striking distance of those top 8 positions, despite their current records. They say music is louder than Bobo. Let's change that. Got that. Sometimes things happen, especially when the last-minute forfeit comes through. Oh, it's Catherine's team. Yes, Catherine's team. This is the single greatest team name I've ever seen in my life. It is fantastic. All right, enough of the standings. Let's just take a look one more time at the map selection screen. Again, this is game 1. This was a match that was set for an hour before, but it did have to get backed up a little bit. Teams were kind enough to find me in chat so we could go ahead and get this casted. Okay, teams look like they're ready. Everybody's saying go. We're going to get to a draft. Should be fun. We're headed to Dragonshire, game number 1. Team Feuerzeug versus Communist Fraiche. Dragonshire, one of my favorite maps, and a map that EU seems to have a strong preference for. Unfortunately, all of my background info got thrown out because of the match change. So, fam, if you know these teams, let me know what the heck is up. What do I expect? What are we going to get here in this first match? We're going to start things off with a Tyrande ban and the Alarak ban. I do believe the Alarak ban is rather targeted. Tyrande, though, solid ban. She is, in my opinion, the best hero in the game right now. And absolutely amazing support. We're running stats today. Actually from over in NA. I mean, they're pretty comparable. This is all of the NA. Lounge Stats did not have access to the EU database just yet, but we do want to show you guys the things that we are capable of doing here. And as you can see, Tyrande with an outstanding 60% involvement rate and a good win rate. Usually when you have heroes that are above, I would have to say like 40% involvement rate, the win rate starts to creep back towards 50%, so even having somebody a little bit above that is quite good. Diablo is the second ban, so we'll remove the top tier tank, and Harry Gary is not allowed either. Ooh, and we get things going with the Maiev. Maiev left up, and I wasn't going to say anything, but Maiev is basically free low on Dragonshire. She is a heck of a hero on this map. This is probably her best place. Feuerzeug will back that up with a Johanna and a Junkrat. So Junkrat fairly impervious to Maiev shenanigans due to his deep range and his ability to just blow up engagements with the concussion mine. But we also do get a Johanna, and this is a pick that I have been keeping an eye on. Johanna has moved up in priority and has a very good win rate this season. And a large part of it is just because she does so very well against the likes of Diablo and Garrosh in particular. Alright. Communist Fraiche will follow things up with Stukov and Dahaka. Stukov, in terms of win rate, up there with Lucio right now. You guys are a little short on the sort of support meta. Tyrande typically goes first. She seems to be followed up most prominently by both Lucio as well as Stukov. And then behind that, there's a little bit of player preference. Now, Furion gets a lot of play up at the higher levels. Ana has seen a lot of good things happen this season as well. Nubarak banned out. We'll see where Fraiche wants to go with the last of our bans here in the secondary ban phase. And the Zeratul. Lot of high priority bans. The target ban there on the Alarak as well. Zeratul, a good pickup. The Anubarak ban, listen, he's a very strong tank. There's not too many left on the board here. But perhaps, maybe a little telling that Feuerzeug wants to move into a double magic damage crew. There's the Ganjo. They get their wave clear with Junkrat, and they get their execution with a Genji.
Glory to the Horde.
And it looks like a top lane Thrall up against the Dahaka. Let's get some more stats in here. Who are we curious about? How's Ganjo faring? 45% win rate. Still a fairly good involvement rate, but you can see this season that Genji has fallen off, where in previous seasons around the amateur circles, he was, I don't know, 60 to 70% involvement rate at least. And now that has moved off. There's the Jimmy. Now we're also going to follow the Pepper up with a Stormbolt or two. We've got a Muradin here. So the draft now complete for Communist Fresh. This looks like a really nice single target crew. James Rayner looking to apply the Pepper. The only thing left here is the support choice for Feuerzeug. There's the Deckard. A very interesting pick. Deckard has struggled mightily here, following a very large nerf to his healing output. That's a couple of patches ago. I think it was something like an 18% reduction in his healing capabilities, but he was so very much a part of the meta for quite a few months that there are a lot of supports that really, listen, they just enjoy and still come back to the Deckard. Alright, gang. Just to refresh everybody what's going on right here, we are headed to, there we go, Dragon Shower for game number 1. This was the map choice of Team Feuerzeug. Communist Fresh, looking to maybe pick up a win here on the Shire of Dragons for game number 1. I am your host, Professor Bobo. I'm an NA caster. Thank you guys for joining here. I see some of my teammates in chat. What's happening, Linehouse? Snag, Foul. Yeah, I don't feel like practicing. I feel like casting the game. Deal with it. Oh, well. Down in the bottom, we're going to keep ripping the ticker for today. The ticker will show upcoming matches, including that bad boy that I'm going to have coming up soon, the Southgate Boys and TSEA link. But the way that the ticker is set up right now, it is such that it will display the current results from whatever division that we have selected. Pretty cool new thing. Hoping it catches on here in Heroes Lounge. It is built really off the back of their openness in their API and whatnot. And the website too. So anyway, cheers. We're about to get this game going. Everybody loads in. I wonder if it's me with my connection. Not quite. There we go. All right.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
Game numero uno. We're going to start over on the side of Team Feuerzeug. Aoria. I can't say that. Oh, man. Somebody help me out. Aurora is playing Deckard. Dejaxi on the Junkrat. Trisley Bear. That's a great name on the Johanna. Core will be playing the Ganjo. And Exilius is on the Thrall. On the flip side for Communist Fresh. Coming up the rear, Marcus Flint on the Admiral Stukov. Zeppo is going to be playing the Maiev. What a cute little mount. Insider. Hiding a little bit there. We'll be playing the Muradin. There you are. Migosh on the Rainer. And Ridla is going to be on the Dahaka. Alright. Flash our level 1 talents. See what's heading. See what's going on with the run it down mid here. Insider with the advanced positioning thus far. Talents, everything looking pretty much what you expect. Nishas for Maiev to get some of that extra camp clear. Spine Launcher for Stukov. Spine Launcher has been a very popular pickup on Stukovs here in this season. Really helps him pick on the tanks at the front line. And then he can set up the slow later on in the game when we do get the virulent reaction at level 13. That is Stukov's root combo. Thus far, in the early game, the rotational advantage is over on the side of Fresh. Over the top lane, Dahaka going up against Thrall. Let's take a peek at that level 1 Thrall talent. That is Echo. Dahaka takes a little while to get going. He oftentimes will struggle in the early game, but then once you get up to level 4, in particular level 7 with Feeding Frenzy on Dahaka, that is really the key to when he starts to become a real lane bully. Both teams moving for the Giants camps. Tanks taking things kind of easy. Got Zeppo on one side, beating Core and Aurora on the flip side. Would love to see Insider maybe make an aggressive play here. He might have an opportunity to maybe get some chip damage. There's Iron Skin from Johanna. She will just avoid the chain. Shrines are up and available. The Haka will make a move towards the top line and the Sun Shrine. Raynor here in mid under a bit of pressure. There is both damage dealers. Keeping an eye on the concussion mine. Migosh with a very good dodge. And in the bottom lane, also controlled by Red. Combination Fresh. Boy, they must like being on the right side. I don't know what their win rate is, but I'm going to assume it's exemplary for those Kami Pinkos. Core in mid lane could be under a bit of trouble. There's Zeppo with a shade, trying to get the chain applied. And Core with a nice little dodge. Overwatch buttons getting him over the wall. Riddler has maintained better positioning up in the top lane. Down in the bottom, we have a little bit of a 3v2. We'll see how long Insider wants to stay. Decker with the root out, and the dragon gets captured. My apologies for missing that bad boy. Maiev with the grab. And the dragon is going to start by running things down in mid lane. Giants are still in bottom. This is going to slow down the rotation from Fraiche. Up at the top lane, we do see Dahaka and Thrall still continuing to go at it. Dragon will get some value mid. This should be a wall. Keep an eye on the XP. Right now it's even. Insider does get thrown over the wall there. Popped over by the line. Level 4 is on board for both teams. Wall gone. Dragon nearly out. There's the Iron Skin from the Johanna to avoid the punt. Just taking a peek at these stats here. 5 stacks on Stormbolt, 11 on Echo, and Junkrat getting things going with taste for Explosion. And this is a Shuriken Mastery Genji. That's been another popular pick and a change in the meta, if you will, on Genji, where it used to be ping pong build. You just build Swift Strike, and even Swifter Strike. Now we see a little bit more of that Shuriken Mastery is Genji is being relied upon to poke a little bit more. And I have seen quite a few of the Shuriken picks here. All right. Despite the first objective going over to the side of Communist Fresh, Team Feuerzeug does maintain a small disadvantage here right now in the XP. They will be behind on the camp rotate. However, they are keeping Genji and Junkrat in lanes just to try to cover XP. The 3-man will finish. Dahaka in top looking good. There is the level 7, so Feeding Frenzy is up. He gets a cooldown reduction on drag. And sometimes we miss things here as casters, and oftentimes you'll just find a Dahaka who just got a pick at it absolutely nowhere. And Feeding Frenzy is really the key to that. Johanna does not get chained. Dahaka now with the top lane camp, able to push in there. Now Core shows up. 2v1 up there in the top lane. Riddler will be looking to just kind of hang out a little bit. Zeppo now making the move towards the bottom lane. This is an interesting spot here. Junkrat and Johanna, they have really good camp control. Up in the top lane, though, Thrall does go down. And Dahaka is still there. Riddler and Migosh now trying to push. And with that kill, now Feuerzeug is going to have to just straight up back off. They give up the bottom camp. They still have the top camp pushing in. This is a huge opportunity for the commies. Maybe they can distribute equally these lanes out and find themselves a way to another dragon objective. Taking a peek up at the top. That's a big pickup. Thrall now does not have a well. 7 seconds before the objectives will activate. Dahaka had a very easy time up in the Sun Shrine, up in the top lane. Muradin and Stukov were able to hold on bottom lane. In fact, Insider even looking for the potential camp invade there. Muradin and Stukov held off on bottom lane for so long that the 2-man of Maiev and Raynor could zone out the Genji in mid lane, and that was how the first dragon got picked up. Muradin doing some work here on Trisley Bear. And now Zeppo does show up. We'll see if Maiev wants to make the move. There's the Iron Skin does come out. Good root there from Marcus Flint there in the choke point. One thing to keep an eye on. This is a Muradin with given the axe. No Skullcracker. Dragon up and available. Maiev making the move. Core is at about half health. 10s are unlocked. Avatar, Warden's Cage, ISO, Swipe, and the Hyperion for James Raynor. There's yet another dragon. It's going to be running it down mid. Keep an eye here as this camp is still showing. There is very little camp clear, and Insider sees it, makes the move, as does the Dragon. Maev on the inside, Migosh is here. There is the immediate burrow. The ISO misses for Riddler, but he does still have drag. Camp does get picked up. This is going to provide extra push in the bottom lane. This will be an easy pickup, and Deckard is in big trouble. The Dragon there. Insider doesn't make the move. There's the Dwarf. A little bit too late. So, between the Giants and the Dragon, this bottom fort gone. We'll see what kind of push Commonish Fresh can get. Level 10 is nearly here on the side of Team Feuerzeug. Thrall in the mid lane. He's got to be careful. If he gets punted, he got a long way to go. Dragon Knight doesn't quite see him. Trait gets procced for Murden, but it is canceled there by the Frostwolf. Second wind going to take a second there. This should be mid-fort. Riddler sliding up. Johanna got stunned. There's the Hyperion. This will secure the fort. Will provide a little bit of wall damage as well. We'll see how far up they do want to move. There's the chains, and there is the cage. Murden actually gets bounced into it. Thrall on the inside. A lot of this has been cleared out. He's low. Avatar comes out. He is gone before the Riptide can connect. And Murden does go down. He got knocked in to a terrible positioning from the concussion mine. Very nice play there by the Joxy on the Junkrat. Too much to tank for Murden. He had the tower as well. 1 level lead for Communist Fresh. And only 2 kills thus far. Very clean game. Oftentimes on Dragon Shard, you can see teams just willing to give things up and low kill counts, and that's what we have here. So despite the very large advantage in structures, at this time, Feuerzeug has kept themselves in it in terms of XP. They're only 1 level behind. And they will have the opportunity to make a move maybe just before Communist Fresh picks up the level 13 talent tier. Alright. Chat, what's happening? Good to see everybody here. Thank you guys for joining me for this EU doubleheader. I'm going to make a little bit of a pivot for game number 1, but we have picked up a Div 3 matchup. Game number 1 on Dragonshire. About 8 minutes in. Only 1 successful camp invade. Marcus Flint has to watch out. He does get knocked back by the concussion mine. Doxy steps up. There's the Blessed Shield. And the combo there from Deckard Cain. The swipe comes through. Core going in. Just misses a Swift Strike, but he will still confirm that kill. Stukov goes down again. The Joxy on this Junkrat setting up kills. Very well played. In the top lane, the fort will be going down momentarily. Maev and Dahaka will get this push. This is going to be a massive problem in the top lane. I have no idea for quite a while, unless Team Feuerzeug can pick up some kills. How is Thrall going to step up and get onto that point? They will go ahead and pick up the bottom camp. Good move down here. 13s are there for Communist Fresh. Stukov has just respawned. We'll see where he's headed.
Earn his power and destroy your enemies.
Here's the big one. Virulent reaction. Looking for the roots. We'll see what Stukov can do. Here's the flank from Zeppo. He's a little low, but all the R buttons are there with the exception of Swipe. Blessed Shield is coming back in about 6 seconds. The Haka burrows in. No targets up and available. There is the chain and the cage. Hyperion on top of it. Zeppo low. Uses Vault to get out. Dahaka gets caught. Or excuse me. Murden gets caught in the sleep. He's trying to back out. No kills. A lot of R buttons. Core looking to go in. Maybe can find himself the reset. Zeppo, though, nearly picks off the Ganjo. Riddler's here. Keep an eye out for the drag. He does pick it up on Dahaka. Migosh steps up and Genji goes down. That pepper was just a little bit too spicy. Insider hits the Stormbolt on Johanna. I'm not sure if Iron Skin's available. There it is, just evading the root. Zeppo now with the chains. Remember, this is a weak Johanna, and Deckard Cain is about to go down. Long way to try to get out. Insider steps up. There is another big Frostbolt. Migosh with the pepper there is blinded, but finds the kill. And a spray for good measure. Well played by Insider and Migosh. Thrall in the top lane. Just kind of hanging out, not a lot of push-up and available. I'm sure Dahaka will be headed up there shortly. Quick camp invade. This match looks like it belongs to the commies. They are spreading things out equally here, as you can see. Raynor and Maev doing good work. What's going on with the APM here? Jimmy leading the pack right now. Always love to see who can click buttons the fastest. Dahaka with a good bit of soak. You can see Jimmy's XP contribution as well. Migosh has done a fantastic job, and he is right now looking to hop into this dragon right before the 16. Dahaka burrow. Insider looking okay. Thrall might wind up being the target. There's an ISO. It does land on Thrall. Junkrat mine is out there. Migosh trying to pick up the dragon. Just gets blinded out. There's the chains. It does put Thrall into the silence. Riptire coming out. We had a lot of R buttons. Murden is on the other side of Stay a While. There's the cage yet again. Zeppo trying to keep everybody in it. Riddler moves up. There's the Hyperion core on the backside. Trying to put that pressure on, but Migas looks like he might have him. X-Strike comes out. A lot of low health bars. Zeppo looking to get the resets. Insider jumps up and over the scroll of ceiling. And Deckard Cain is the kill. And that should be an easy pickup along with level 16 as Communist Fresh might just have found themselves a game. Joe, what's happening, baby? Good to see you. Little Sunday afternoon hots action. Alright. That is a Dahaka in the dragon. Everybody was throwing their R buttons out there. There's another mine. The Joxy has done good things with those. We'll keep an eye if maybe Team Feuerzeug can pick up a quick kill. They might at least perturb the possible core rush. Keep should go down. Genji gets kicked away. Ararara on the Deckard Cain has done a great job with the stay along and listens, but that time Insider jumped onto the opposite side. And once Murder gets going, especially with healing static at level 13, and I mean, he's just too tough to kill. Zeppo looking to get the chains, does get it before the Hearth move. Blessed Shield comes out, Dragon is on the core. Shield about to go down. There's the Riptire from the safety of the core. Swipe gets interrupted. Maya blinks away, is low. There's yet another stay along listen, but this core is at 20%. Nobody has taken care of the Dahaka on the core. And that is game number 1. It is a victory for Communist Fresh. Okay, let's go update things. That is a red win in game number 1. Let's up the scores as well and get our update on through. Interesting match in that the Johanna Junkrat was very good from the early part of the draft. Was very effective. But letting Maiev go, especially on Dragonshire, is a huge risk. And you see, like, the stats aren't quite there, but, like, look at Zeppo's siege damage. That certainly looked pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead. Give me 1 second here. Let's do this I want to try to make sure that we get our teams in the right lobby and whatnot. Okay. There we go. Alright. That'll do it for game number 1. We'll head on over. Let's check out what's going on with the map and cam. Okay, so we are going to be hanging out a little bit until we can go ahead and get game number 2 up on the board. Just to refresh you guys really quickly what has transpired thus far. We had a Dragonshire game, and the victor in that one was Communist Fresh. The cream sometimes rises to the top, and it did in game number 1. Alright. Chat, what's going on? It's good to see everybody. Here we share about what's happening in love. Who else do we see? Frank FS. Good to have you here in the Lecture Hall Lounge. Thank you guys for joining me here today. Some shout-outs. Got a couple of extra little follows at Tari83, Frank FS, and Yasa36. Thank you guys for the follow. If you're new here, I am Professor Bobo. I do a whole bunch of casting on the amateur side of things. So obviously, with Heroes Lounge being where it's at right now, that is where we are. Game number 1 did go over to Fresh. Feuerzeug has chosen first pick, so we'll have our map up shortly. Try to get everything coordinated on in here. Alrighty. So we have map number 2. Let's go ahead and let's update our wonderful foul tool. And here's the cool part. We'll just do it in real time for everybody and let them know what the scoop is. So for map number 2, as you can see, we are headed over to Towers of Doom, the choice of Communist Fresh. Set everything up real quick. We'll get our teams in the lobby. Okay, we have... Frank FS, thank you. All the cool stuff that we're really kind of pushing a little bit here, getting going, is a labor of love between two of my very good friends, Crow and Felindrith. They do all kinds of cool things. It's really awesome to have all of this, information up on the board. We can get you guys up to date with what is happening in the match that we are currently casting. Let you guys know what is happening in real time here in Lounge. Once again, these are the standings for Division 3. Both of these teams looking to move up. As you can see, it's still pretty tightly packed. We do have the 10th and 11th placed teams. Trying to keep a peek up. I haven't really been up on EU too much. You guys don't know I am an NA guy. Who's up at the top? Murder Inc. and Need for Feed. Div 3 also has, once again, the greatest name in the history of amateur HOTS teams. What is it? The Aggressive Expansionist Attitude of Catherine the Great. You'll love to see it. All right. Teams are trickling into draft. Should be here fairly soon. MVP in Game 1? That's a really good question. I really love seeing Zeppo on the Maya, but I thought Migosh on the Rainer did a great job as well. His ability to, pick up Soak was outstanding. And then the Rainer moving in to pick up a couple of extra kills. So even though, this is sort of classic, AM HOTS. Sometimes the stats are imbalanced. You saw Maya have an insane amount of siege damage, but Rainer never going down, always being in the right place, good Hyperion use. I know some people are like Raider, Hyperion. Listen, whichever one you pick on a hero like Rainer where both of those heroics are viable, just get the most value out of it. That's really the key. But also you could just drop Hyperion on the Warden's Cage. That was a good looking little combo there. So for Game 2, adjustments. Probably don't want to let the Maiev go, depending on what the map is. Towers of Doom is a solid Maiev map. She's a great hero in general, so it is always a good idea to try to get rid of her. But it does seem like, and I'm actually going to go peek. What's up with that Alarak ban? Must be a Communist Fresh specialty. I'm taking a peek at the stats here. Where did that Alarak come from? Aha! So on the season, Communist Fresh, 5 Alarak picks, 60% win rate, and it has been banned against them 8 times. Okay. I love seeing Alarak play. Alarak is one of the more entertaining heroes just to cast in general. He's a lot of fun to take a look at. But again, it removed a whole bunch of times against the Fresh Cream crew. Just waiting on one more. Insider should be hopping in soon. If you guys have any questions, always pop them in chat. Let me know what's up. Always let me know. Sometimes sound gets, because, things. Very cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm just looking at things in OBS right now. Looks awesome. The recent results are really cool. When Lounge approves casts, the ticker will, and you'll see it here. Sometimes it's a little light on the weekends, but the ticker itself will actually include upcoming casts once they have been approved. So you can just take a peek at what's going on. You can do all kinds of cool, crazy things, man. All right, where's our last? Come on, let's go. Waiting to see it. Zero else with that Android Rainer took MVP from his play. Yeah, pretty solid. It's tough too, Johanna into Rainer is... I don't want to call it like an odd matchup. It's just, if all that Johanna has is the blind without anything to help her engage onto Jimmy, you can just lay the pepper out from the back. Yes, it does mitigate quite a bit of damage, but it's not going to stop, Hyperion. And that's really where Johanna struggles. It's extending the play. And the Rainer pickup was really smart in that, Jimmy doesn't have to dive necessarily to be effective in that regard. So once the Maiev goes in, maybe gets a lot of the attention placed upon her, then James is quite free to lay the pepper on. Other keys in that draft? The Genji was... I'm not sure it was a bad pick. Genji into Maiev does pretty well, but Genji... just in terms of getting picked, but Genji doesn't really damage Maiev that much. That draft with the Maiev there would have been difficult for Jaina. They had Junkrat for the wave clear. And with Johanna, and I think you know, maybe the adjustment there in game number 2 for Feuerzeug would be to maybe even pick up a little bit more wave clear. I know that seems kind of counterintuitive with Junkrat and Johanna, but if your team is just overwhelming in terms of wave clear, you can really force Raynor and Maiev, who are okay in lane, not top of the charts, you can really force them to try to play catch up. Okay. What else have we got going on? I don't really have too much cool stuff otherwise to show you guys. Anyway, we're just kind of hanging out. We actually did see. Oh man, I have some of my caster friends peeking on me. Yeah, recent results. The aggressive, expansive attitude of Catherine the Great doesn't fit in the ticker. They've broken it. It's good to know. And you don't really want to like, you know, shorten that that team name up. It's so great. We're gonna have to figure out how to turn that into teeny tiny text so you can always read it. I'm actually trying to take a peek at it right now. All right, map number 2. Yep, we're heading to towers. Inside are just a little bit slow. It does happen. It's all right. Gives me a little bit of time to get some extra coffee, hang out with chat, see what's going on. All right, I'm going to take a little personal mini break. We'll just leave the standings up for a little bit. Once Insider comes on, I will, we have 5 in the lobby, I will come back. So we'll turn the music volume up a little bit for now. And then kill it right now. We're just going to leave you guys with the standings while teams do trickle into lobby. Okay, we are back. Game number 2. Teams are both ready. We are headed to Towers of Doom. I have been told to go, and that is what we are going to do. Game number 1 went over to Communist Fresh. And we almost had a lobby. It's a good thing I didn't click draft. Close! No cigar. Alright, hold on. We're almost there. Almost there. I promise. We got to get Exilius back. A little bit of clap in the chat. Oh, man. We might have DC'd. It's a good thing I didn't press draft. Almost got there. EU things. I love this. Alright, so we're just going to have to hang out for a little bit longer. We had a DC on one side. So we will get our Team's back in here. Thank you, K4SP4, for the follow. Much appreciated, guys. Alright. Teams are throwing. There's even some Cyrillic in chat right now. I didn't know. Okay. Alright. Здравствуйте. Как вы поживаете, други? That's about all the Russian that I remember. That yablika, which is just a fun word. Alright. What are we going to do? Take another little mini break. Let's go back to standings. We'll hang out. We'll be back when we have a draft. Much love, guys. We'll get there. I promise. Game 2, at some point, will happen. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of go, 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 go. Let's go. Let's get a game. Way too long to play some HOTS. Is everything looking good here? Great, gravy, grand. Let's get going. Game number 2. Thank you guys for hanging out during the delay. As always, a little bit of issues here and there.
Of doom.
My favorite map to cast, TO Dice. Communist Fresh with the map selection. So Team Feuerzeug will have the first ban here in game number 2 in this best of 3 set, and they will start things off with another Alarak ban. Smitty, what's happening, baby? It's good to see you. Maiev ban. So after utilizing the Warden in game number 1, Communist Fresh decides, well, we don't want it, so we're not going to let it through. And that makes sense. Listen, if you're not going to first pick Maiev, she is not going to last through picks number 2 and 3, most likely. We'll get rid of Dibbles. And for our last ban from Communist Fresh, I believe in game number 1 it was a Diablo Garrosh ban at the top of the draft. I know it feels like quite a long time ago. Five seconds left for Fresh. And we get the Johanna ban. Okay, so Garrosh is up. Garrosh is not up. Garrosh is insta-grabbed with the first pick on the side of Team Feuerzeug. Let's get some Gary stats. How's Gary doing this season? It hasn't been the greatest. He's still highly prioritized. As you can see, he has a better than 50% involvement rate, but a low win rate. And that, young lady, is part of the reason why. Jaina is at the top of the mage meta right now, and she does a fantastic job of countering out Garrosh. Once she gets going, really around level 7, once you can sort of complete little Q build, assuming that's what we see, the standard Fingers of Frost and then Frostbolt. She just makes it so that Garrosh really just can't walk in, so long as he doesn't have Indomitable up. Ooh, Leo and Lee. So we get a Ming Lee and the Skeleton King for Feuerzeug. We'll see if Communist Fresh maybe is thinking about the double reset comp. Do they want to let Genji through? Or maybe they take a look at the support pool. And I mean, with Li Ming not having any CC, at least until, the mini sort of knockback on Wave of Force, it's very important to pair up a support that works well with Garrosh. You could have anything here, really, from Malfurion. Deckard still does work out. Tyrande can work as well. It's really... I mean, there's so many supports that it just comes down to the synergy between tank and support. There's the Muradin ban. Muradin does pretty well into Garrosh. Mal'Ganis is up. Anubarak is up. I actually would... I'm not going to say I'd be surprised to see a noob, but it does depend on how you feel about the Cocoon versus Disintegrate. That was like the 2018 special. If you had an Anubarak, you would counter it with Li Ming. I remember seeing Mena just rip that left and right. There's the Stukov. But I do think Li Ming's effectiveness against Anubarak has gone down even further. Yeah, there he is. With the crazy buffs to the shield build, you can build him in that way, and then really it just feels like Li Ming doesn't do any damage. And you can see how effective Anubarak has been. He's up slightly north of 50%. He's usually up and available, has a very low ban rate. Both he and Stitches have risen here in the meta late in 2018 and the early 2019 parts. Feuerzeug will pick up the Rainer. Ooh, and they go with the Uther. Have not seen a lot of Uther. In fact, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've seen him casted. Near 50% win rate. He has been doing a lot better as of late. And he can be up and available. There's a Jaina on the board. What is the last pick? There is room for a Lunara. Lunara is the oldest of old school counters to Uther. Not sure if Communist Fresh has that in the bag, though. There it is. The Luna. Oh, there's CJ hopping in the chat. What's happening, brothers? Skill matchup, Anub versus Ming. Yeah. What it kind of comes down to is, like, you're looking at Cocoon targets. And on a map like Towers of Doom, if Dahaka can keep Leoric bothered up in the top lane. That just, you know, that takes away another member from the fight, and then maybe Li Ming becomes the cocoon target more than anything. Oftentimes, though, with a Nubarak Garrosh matchup, you want to cocoon the Gary, and as a Nubarak, you just want to push a whole bunch of buttons and launch yourself forward and try to find a kill. But we also, in this matchup, are going to get to see Zeppo on the Lunara. If you're unfamiliar with the way that Lunara works into Uther, it's very punishing. It just sucks. Or poison damage, as it scales very well, especially into the late game. It just taxes Uther. And in a comp like this, where like a deep engage is going to be difficult, I'd actually like to see Thornwood Vine so you can get even more spread poison damage out there. Lunara, not a hero that, you know, you feel comfortable picking early, but in a situation like this, Uther's on the board, you have an open slot. We're going to see how Aurora does on this Uther up against Bambi. Game number 2. Once again, Communist Fresh took game number 1. They chose to take us here to Towers of Doom. This is going to be Riddler yet again on the Dahaka, and that's worth keeping an eye out on. He did win the top lane matchup against Thrall handily. The burrows were solid. They really didn't need to be too aggressive. But we could definitely see it here on Towers. We'll keep an eye, certainly. I think Leoric will do better into Dahaka than in game 1 where Thrall was. But, again, a lot of times it comes down to a skilled matchup. We'll see how things pan out here in game number 2. Alright.
Prepare yourself for battle.
Starting over on the side of Communist Fresh, looking for the 2-0. Riddler yet again on the Dahaka. Insiders shifting over to the Anubarak. Marcus Flint on the Stukov, Zeppo on the Lunara, and Migosh on the Jaina. For Team Fusic, rocking that Wonder William synergy. Exilius on the Leoric. What else we got? We got Dejoxy on the Rainer, Aurora on that Uther. Trisley Bear is going to be playing the Garrosh, and last but not least, Core on the Li Ming.
3, 2, 1.
Level 1 talents up on the board, everything looking pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary, and we do go shield build with a Nubarak. At level 1, we'll just highlight that real quick. Nerubian Armor bumps up his spell armor to 60 spell armor. And when you look at the damage on the flip side, you do have the percent-based damage of Leo. This is all about canceling out the Li Ming damage. Rainer has always done fairly well into a Nubarak unless a noob can get the burrow onto him. And there's the aggressive positioning by Insider. Did this in game 1. He was very effective in getting the early rotation advantage. He put his Muradin sort of into the triangle there, and he's already, keep an eye on the bug, cut off Uther. It is just Li Ming and Garrosh, so no wave clear in the bottom lane, and now Communist Fresh is bossing the middle parts of this map. Here's the rotate up. Keep an eye on the bug. 1 stun, 2 stuns, Blizzard comes out. Do we have enough for Uther? There's the silence. Aurora gets the stun out. There's the body blocks, but a Nubarak might go down in turn. Uther does go down. There's the trade. Too many tower shots there. You love the play, but I mean, that is the one benefit to Uther. A lot of armor. A lot of self-healing right there in that spot. Good, good silence from Marcus Flint. But not quite enough. The trade was made. Up in the top lane, Riddler and Exilius going at it. Everything pretty even. I believe with the First Blood advantage on XP, things working out a little bit more in the favor, in terms of XP, for the side of Fuser. Zeppo and Migosh will move to pick up this camp. Keep an eye on Dahaka in the top lane. This could be burrow number 1, Grizzly Bear with the Groundbreaker, and now the target is going to be Garrosh, throwing a noob away. Now, do we get to see this? Taking a look at Riddler. He's paused. And it looks like, yes, Communist Fresh actually just picks up the camp with no invade. They're in the bottom lane now. They're going to have 6 Pumpkin Sappers barreling down. Li Ming does step up to try to get rid of some of them, but 1, 2 have already connected. Keep an eye on the rest. 1, 2, and 3 more Pumpkin Sappers. This wall has been absolutely hammered. You can see how the XP has shifted. What was once about a quarter level advantage for Fuzurg has shifted over, and now we have about, we're going to have about a half level lead soon with Dahaka picking up some XP in the top, as Fresh does take the advantage.
Be ready. You must capture them quickly.
Let's build for Leoric, starting things off with 2 talents in the Skeleton Swing. Again, Consume Vitality, and on top of that, Kneel Peasants. There's the burrow in from a Nubarak. The second stun does connect on Garrosh. He's low. He's going to have to eat some Blizzard. Zeppo slides up. Lunara has been plaguing this Garrosh in the early game. triple altar phase. Leo and Dahaka taking their positions up top. This is going to be, for sure, an advantageous burrow position. Migosh actually gets the channel off. So again, no burrow needed. Commodus Fresh will take a 4-shot lead. Much like how Fresh played in Dragonshire, they were fantastic at shielding the channeler. In fact, I picked up, I want to say 2, I believe of the 3 dragons that they picked up, a lot of that had to come down to the way that they just sort of channeled and guarded people off. There's Indomitable for Garrosh. He avoided both stuns, but now has to deal with blow from Lunara. There's the Silence Pool. He gets chunked out. Armor will do pretty well, and now he will have to reset. Leo has been double soaking. Exilius doing a good job in that regard. Here comes the collapse from Dahaka as well as Jaina. And Leo is okay. You can see he has led the early game in terms of XP. Good scrap here in the bottom lane. Grizzly Bear throwing a Nubarak in, but he's got that spell armor. He should be okay. The slow on Garrosh. Looks like it should be enough. Migosh steps up. There's the Blizzard. And down goes Garrosh, and now the chase is on. Dejoxy has a long way to go. Stun there on the Impale onto James Raynor. Insider has a shield. Let's see if he goes in for the burrow. He does not. Zeppo steps up. Gotta watch out for the towers. And he is okay. That is only going to get worse as the game goes on. Level 13, once Icy Vein comes out, the anticipated pick from Migosh, Jaina is going to be a terror. Zeppo getting things going at level 7. He has gone into Splintered Spear with Lunara. We'll keep an eye on the 13 talent tier for Bambi. A lot of different options. I think Lunara has one of the most fun talent tiers at 13. A lot of different options. There are offensive talents with, like, Let Them Wither. Defensive talents with Abolish Magic. See how that goes. About a half level lead. Dahaka, again, should be in a position to burrow if needed. Migosh gets the channel started. You can see up at the top, Riddler just backs off every time there's the possibility of a burrow, but easy pickup. Pumpkin Sapper camp moving down the bottom lane. This should be the end of the wall. And there it goes. Bottom is exposed. This is going to be a very difficult position for Fuser. You're going to have to start to find some picks. Leo in the mid might be able to do some damage if Dahaka burrows in. You can see here he comes. There's a Silence Pool. It's out. Leaving with good damage. Nubarek with the burrow. Unstoppable on Garrosh. Maybe gets him out, but here's the slow. Look at Zeppo with the chase. Blizzard gets some zoning. There's Core. Does manage to hit one of the Pumpkin Sappers to remove that. Zeppo is low, but there's a great jag from Riddler. Our first kill in a while. Powered by Dahaka. Very nice play. There is still one Pumpkin Sapper, and this is wild. Raynor will pick him up. Okay. And now the bottom capture comes in. This will result in level 10. This is going to be a big, big lead, and now we'll see how well Communist Fresh can choke off that bottom lane. We do have Leaping Strike. We get a Welly. Flailing Swipe. There's the Cocoon. It has already landed on Uther. Without Disintegrate at level 10, it's hard to break this bad boy down. Dahaka has not picked his ultimate yet. We'll see if he does come in. There's the Into the Fray, throwing Uther on out of that. Insider with a long way to go. He's getting peppered out by Raynor. Zeppo is there. And the wave is cleared. Stukov will help get a new back up. Double channel in the top lane. What's the priority here from Communist Fresh? Do they want the invade? Or do they just want to defend bottom? 10 seconds. Dahaka's up there. Here's the mid move right now. We do see Core and Grizzly Bear moving in. Li-Ming has fantastic delay. Dahaka is mid right now.
The altars have risen.
Disintegrate. Divine Shield. Warlord's Challenge. There's the Raynor. You see him pop out. And Entomb. Stukov is going to get caught out. There's the taunt. He's gone. Welly's out. Disintegrate does come out. There's a lot of low health bars. Li-Ming gets picked by... Ooh, the ISO as well as the Dahaka tongue. Even with that great D-Shield, that ain't going to do it. Insider does wind up getting traded out. And Nubarak goes down, but Riddler's up in the front. Leo is low. Has a lot of poison on him. There is the Lunara chase. Zeppo is there looking to finish off Dejoxy. The Ghost of Uther trying to keep Raynor alive long enough for him to get out. I don't think it's going to help. Jimmy goes down. Riddler with fantastic Dahaka play at the front. Swapping in for Insider's Dahaka. Heck of a play. This is a 5-shot advantage, given that bottom lane is still under control. Flash some stats a little bit here. Jaina leading the game in hero damage right now. Lunara not too far behind. Raynor sandwiched in between. And now Li Ming and company will step up to try to pick up this bell tower. There's Insider on the Anubarak. He does have Burrow available. In fact, all of the R buttons are up for Communist Fresh. If they have counted their cooldowns, they might be able to make a play here. 20 seconds still on Disintegrate, so Li Ming can't quite burn that down. We do see Zeppo making a move on that camp in the top lane. Dahaka and Leo fighting over top for a minute. Shift back up to the bottom. Another 6 Pumpkin Sappers are headed their way. There's a great virulent reaction. There's the silence. Now Anubarak looking for the play. Welly comes out. Garrosh is blown up. Now without the front line, the Welly moves in to the moat, looking to get a little bit more chip damage. Insider position strongly up front. 1, 2 Pumpkin Sappers. A third goes through. That is a 33-20 advantage. Now it is another 3. Insider. Looks like he bit off a little bit more than the bug could chew. Ooh, field goal there on the orb. And a double altar phase. We'll see if Anubarak actually maybe gets the opportunity to take the mid channel. And the old teleport through. Zeppo in a bit of trouble. Actually, we did see Warlord's Challenge come out. They might have had a kill on Lunara if that was able to connect. But stayed just barely out of range. So double altar channel. Anubarak respawned. He's going to have to walk a long way back. There's Dahaka in the top lane. For Communist Fresh, they can just trade altars here. There's really no impetus for them to go for the double channel. They have bottom just to themselves. Trisley trying to go in, maybe get the delay on there. But Migosh picks that up. The channel goes through for Team Feuerzeug. This is a 30-12 disadvantage. However, they are on the same talent tier. They've got some poke damage there in the bottom lane. Now the 4-man steps back up. What do we get for level 13 on Luna? Spell Shield. That's taking a decent amount of damage. This will help her keep in more. The burrow was canceled early. Insider goes down. I think that might have been an accidental cancel on the burrow there. He got thrown into the moat, backed out, but it wasn't far enough, and Li Ming finishes off a nuke. So, bottom should be converted. Should. Feuerzeug needs the minion wave for sure. Up in the top lane, Leo has been out soaking Dahaka, as is Leo's sort of prerogative there. A little bit of chip damage on these top structures for both sides. Now the bot lane, Garrosh moving in. He does get virulent reaction, rooted by Marcus Flint. What a great play. Now Welly comes out. Luna trying to get a little bit more chase out there. Core actually blinked in and then eats the leaping strike. Feuerzeug trying to make something happen. I thought they might have had a play there, but a very, very good play by Marcus Flint. That virulent reaction stopping Garrosh in his tracks. This is the last triple altar phase. 4 shots available per channel. With Li Ming down, the aggressive play being made here by Communist Fresh. In fact, I wonder if they're actually looking for Garrosh. They'll settle things down. This is going to be a double camp pickup. Jaina taking care of the offside. Dahaka and Leo top. Looks like they're going to trade channels yet again. We've only really seen one aggressive burrow from Dahaka. Zeppo should have a fairly clean channel. Trisley's got a long way to go. There's the route to try to keep him out. Insider does go in. Cocoon actually on Uther, and Li Ming gets rid of it. 4 shots remaining. So, for Communist Fresh, can they make a play around the boss here? They're looking to get these Pumpkin Sappers in so they can maybe get the channel on the altar. Or excuse me, channel on the bottom fort. Garrosh stuck again. So there's the convert. Garrosh. There's the Dahaka burrow. Ridley on the backside. And what a great ISO. Finds his way onto Uther. D-Shield cannot be casted. And that should likely be game. 35 seconds. You can see Fresh with 4 shots remaining on the core of Team Feuerzeug. They are aiming for the boss. Feuerzeug in the bottom lane. Boy, I don't think they smelled this out. This really should be it. Look at that chunk damage. Game number 2 is going to go over to Communist Fresh. Very good victory here for both of their games. Well-deserved victory. We'll hop in for an interview shortly. good win. As soon as I can get out of this video. Hey, there we go. Okay. Don't think we had Uther up there anymore. Let's go ahead, update everything for y'all. As we take a look at our talents and our stats. Just a great bit of draft from Communist Fresh. They grabbed the Dahaka early. They had the Anubarak still in their pocket to deal with the Garrosh, and then the last pick, Lunara, from Zeppo. Really was the deciding factor, I think. Listen, Luna into Uther is a fantastic time for the deer, and an absolutely awful one if you were unfortunate enough to be playing the Uther. Alright, so let's slide here. We'll queue up Migosh. I'm here for interview. Talents really quick. Listen, everything looked pretty standard. There wasn't too much going on there. Marcus Flint did grab Fetid Touch at level 1, but this was really the key, the virulent reaction. His roots, in particular, against Garrosh were huge. Very well played. Okay. Just to recap everything. Nice victory there for Communist Fresh, the 2-0. See if we can pull Migosh in. How do I invite? I didn't know I had to do this. I'll just come to this gentleman. Alrighty. Good afternoon. Good evening, actually, if I may. Over across the pond.
Yeah, it's pretty much 12 for me.
We were joined here by Insider. Congratulations on the 2-0. A very strong victory for Communist Fresh.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Excellent. So listen, I don't know too much about what's happening over in the EU. Introduce yourselves. What's the scoop with this team and that absolutely delightful logo that you guys have? Love to see it. What's been the story here for you guys in this season for Lounge?
Yeah, okay, so it was our second season.
Yep.
Or rather, it is our second season. Last season we barely were out of playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We were like one win or something like that. And I think we were like top 6 or top 7, something about this.
Yep.
And this season we acquired Zeppo. Shoutouts to him actually for.
Zeppo was did a heck of a job there. Right on.
Yeah, and actually regarding Aurak wins, Aurak Benz rather.
Yeah.
So it's his main. He's like level 150 on Aurak.
Wow.
So it was a target ban, I assume.
Absolutely, and it kind of seemed like, just to shift gears over to what we saw in the drafts. It really looked like the Alarak ban gave you guys a big advantage at the top of the draft. You got the Dahaka for 2 sort of globals, and then it looks like you guys were really successful at just sort of setting your drafts up. Looks like some nice comforts. You got the Stukov for 2 games, and like I said, it just looked like in those drafts you guys got everything that you wanted.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, the thing is, like, normally in this season we had Migosh on our healer, and Marcus was running on ranged. But for this match and probably for the next one, we will switch it up.
Very cool.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, regarding this season, we should have been like in top 4, I guess, or something like that. But we managed to throw some matches big time.
Listen, I know. Listen, I know about that. That was our early season story. We were pretty good at that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Game number 1 there on Dragonshire. Listen, you guys pick up the Maiev early. It looks pretty free.
Yep.
And then, again, the other key to that game, it really seemed like you guys were very successful in the bot lane. You had a great little bit of like 2v3ing.
I mean, the thing is, like, when you have Jaina and Unara, you have a lot of wave clear. So, like, we see one person on mid lane.
Yep.
Like, it was Limino or something like that. And we see like three people on mid lane, depushing creeps for no reason.
Yeah.
We're just like, okay, we can kill them. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah. You guys put a very good emphasis. You guys put a great emphasis on the top lane early too. Really supported the Dahaka into the Thrall. That matchup looked to be an absolute nightmare, and looked like an easy close. Game number 2, I've actually talked about this a little bit, like, in some other avenues. I personally love Anubarak right now. And then I still think everybody's still in this mindset that Li Ming sort of counters out Anub, right? You could just disintegrate the cocoon. But I personally don't think that's a great move anymore in draft. And it really seemed like you guys had a field day with your Anubarak, minus a couple of moat throws.
I mean, the thing is, like, the one throw that I
Yeah.
just died in the pit,
It happens.
I just wanted this limit. I just wanted this limit so bad, you know, like I couldn't help myself.
Oh, that was too good. And then listen, the Lunara, the last pick, you know, it seems like if you have it there for the Uther, it's just a free win. Am I wrong about that? It just seems almost too easy.
I mean, basically, I don't really understand why they picked Uther there. Like,
Yeah.
what was the reasoning behind it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have any sort of hyper carry like Genji with Deep 8, but of course Genji was banned,
Yeah.
so like I don't really get the Uther. Like, it feels like we don't get comfortable on Tyrande since we don't really
Okay. I agree.
don't really play her that much. So like
100%.
I don't know. It feels like we're like healer pool is kind of weak a bit, so we managed to get some good picks on it.
Excellent. And I'm taking a peek at the standings right now before I let you guys go. You guys 10th place right now, but you pick up a win and you keep crawling up the standings. What's left for you guys this season? You know, a couple of maybe got some tough matchups. You got a little bit of work to do for the playoff. What's going to be the key for Communist Fresh for the last couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, we went into the season obviously before the HDC announcement and whatnot. We wanted to be in top 5, and I guess this is kind of like the priority, but maybe not top 5, but top 8 just to qualify for the playoffs.
Yep.
And see how it goes from that.
Okay.
But like most of the time, like last week was kind of rough for us since we didn't scream that much, and we managed to throw like the match big time. And there were like some mistakes also made in some of the previous matches. So basically, now we just want to qualify for the playoffs and see how it goes from this.
Okay. Well, listen, I wish you guys the best of luck. And listen, Insider, the floor is yours for shoutouts before we let you go.
Okay, so first of all, shoutouts to my team for making this job here and today. Also, shoutouts to our coach Coffee, who used to be an HDC ANZ professional, and now he's kind of like, I don't know, like doing what you do in Australia, I don't know, or in New Zealand. So yeah, big shout outs for him, big shout outs for all those baguettes who are watching this now.
All right.
And basically just shout outs to all the people who are still interested in host and play this game on competitive.
Excellent.
And don't do any stupid stuff in Hero League also.
I think that's what Hero League is for now, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, for like last week or so, my Hero League games are like, I'm like 110 or something, like even 113, I guess.
Listen, it's kind of weird to like 2019 Hero League is like the dead mode. This is where it's at. I hope you guys are having fun, and again, I wish you guys all the best for the rest of the season. Cheers.
Yeah, and also shout outs for you for casting the game, and yeah, I hope you manage to do us like sometimes more.
I have to. I took a real. Listen, like when the HCC came through, like I took a big break. I didn't cast for like a month, but I'm picking some things up, man. It's really cool with HeroesLounge to be able to pick up like the EU side of things, especially on the weekend. Like I know it's late night for you guys, but being able to cast matches in the afternoon is.
Yeah, so actually on that note, I watched like Kala streaming Nexus Cup yesterday, and he said like something along those lines also. So I hope like NA hosts will live like through such great personalities, and I hope this will be a kind of good year for hosts overall. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Insider. Once again, best of luck, man. Cheers, and great set for you guys.
Yes, see ya.
Okay, gang. So, let's see. Get the old camel map screen. Okay, that's going to do it for game number 1. I do have another set coming up at 4 o'clock, so I think what we're going to end up doing is we'll just leave the screen up here and we'll see if we can pull these teams in. So what have I got? I have I'm trying to make sure that I get everything right. We've got a Div 6 match coming up in about a half hour, and that's going to be the Southgate Boys going up against TSEA Link. And in fact, it should pop up actually right down there in the after recent results. If we can get to updated matches, that'd be pretty cool. So, like I said, I'm gonna hang out for a little while. Actually, I think we'll break the stream down for a hot minute just to make sure that we do have another cast coming up. But once again, I'm gonna have the second half of the doubleheader at the top of the hour. So I hope to get you guys soon. Thank you guys for joining me for the first half of the doubleheader, and congratulations once again. The victory goes the way of Communist Fraiche.